Hi, everybody. Welcome to Discover College Soccer. Today, I'm lucky enough to be joined by Coach Elmer Zelaya of the University of Texas Permian Basin. Welcome, Coach.
Glad to be on. Thanks for having me, Matt.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Um, let's talk a little bit about your women's program there in Texas. But first, let's start talking on the recruiting side of things. The season's just wrapped up, so I'm sure you're getting hot and heavy into it right now. Um, when are you starting to talk to players in terms of what year, um, uh, and are you working on mostly 23s right now, or 23s done? You're working on 24s. What does that look like?
We'll start currently. Well, I started in the summer talking to both 23s and 24s. Obviously, this past summer we were able to talk to 24s. But once the season now, I'm looking during the season. You stay in touch with the 24s, and obviously, majority time spent is with those 23s, connecting, establish that relationship. And now once the season is just hitting hard on those 23s that you've been talking to. If they haven't committed yet, trying to, you know, close the deal on those recruits. And if they moved on, finding other 23s available, and still talking to those 24s. But yeah, right now I'm just hitting heavy on 23s, and obviously just establishing that contact with the 24s.
Okay. Are there kind of must-hit events that you're going to right now to look at players and find players?
Yeah. So this past weekend I was actually in Dallas. I think being in West Texas, I think it's very important to have that to get those players in the DFW area. Dallas, the DFW area breeds talented women soccer players. So I think UTPB never had that connection or never established that foundation with those players in those areas. So that's kind of been my bread and butter, like to go to these past 2-3 weeks. This like I said, this that past weekend I was there for the Dallas Kicks showcase. Unfortunately, weather kind of canceled that one, but I was able to attend the Texas Cup. They had turf fields available, so went out, watched some 23s and lot of 24s. But yeah, and then yeah, so that's what kind of focus on in staying in the Dallas area. Obviously, when I can, I think I missed the showcase in Phoenix, but trying to catch those, staying in state, and also a couple around close by, um, other states and other
Yeah,
recruits.
sure. What about camps? Do you guys run any camps? Do you or other staff work at other people's camps? How do camps fit into your recruiting process?
Yeah. I do work camps. I I worked a couple of exact camps. But we do have camps here. We had two camps over the summer. Really good. We had an ID camp, and then we had kind of like a 77 camp. 77 camp was really successful. ID camp was low on numbers, but it was more for local, kind of same thing. When I first got here, UTBB never done camps on the women's side. So it was just kind of same thing, just starting it up and trying to slowly build up your reputation, and just kind of just have an idea camp run successfully regardless of the numbers. So yeah, we're looking at the winter ID camp right now. Just kind of dates right now. I'm not familiar with the region here, with the area here, but I know January, February is kind of a tough month here, like with the weather and things like that. So just right now, just kind of finding that date and finalizing that winter ID. But I do plan to have it at that ID camp, whether it's in the middle of high school season or kind of the tail end or beginning before we start our spring season. So
Okay. Well, looking at your roster, you guys kind of got a mix of let's say regional folks and international. So how
mm.
does international recruiting kind of fit in, and what's kind of the balance there between international and domestic for you?
Yeah, honestly, you're just trying to get the best players regardless of where they're from. I know in the past, with internationals here, we we have a really good. I think we offer a good financial package for out of state or in state. We have an out of state waiver um, that helps us get those internationals or out of state. Then bring them on if they get awarded any kind of academic money or athletic money. They're paying in state tuition, so that's why we're fortunate enough to have that kind of almost same balance of international and domestic kids here. Um, but my priority is I'm looking more to be heavy on the domestic side, and whether it's freshmen or JUCOs or and then look obviously looking out for those internationals who have the potential to play at a D2 level and want to be here, and if we're fortunate enough to bring them here.
Well, you mentioned, you're always looking for the best players, right? So whether it's at
Mm.
camp or through video or watching a tournament or something, what kind of defines a best player for you? What are some of those attributes, whether it's on the field stuff or off the field stuff, that really makes you want to say, okay, we want that person here at our school?
Yeah, so I look first. I look off the field. Um, I look at their GPA. Look at what what extracurricular activities they're involved with it. At their school. In the community. Pretty much whatever their resume. You know, they whatever on their resume, I kind of look into, and then I look on the soccer side of it. Are they on video? Are they hardworking? Do they do they have that engine to just keep going? Are they a team player? Do they get frustrated easily? Obviously, you don't see that much from the highlights because they send you kind of the best clips. But for those recruits that kind of send me those full game clips, or when I'm fortunate enough to catch a game, that's what I look at. Regardless, obviously everybody's gonna look at the most talented kid, but like they say, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So I'm kind of like looking for those kids, just grinders, kind of because that represents myself too. I kind of first in the office, last out of the office. Just kind of work you know until my fiance tells me to come home. But no, but I'm looking at those similar attributes into recruits. Just because you get a team like that and then they commit into goals. And obviously when you have a team belief like that, it's special and it has good outcomes.
For sure. Well, let's talk a little bit more about the school. I'm sure there's some folks out there not familiar with
Yeah.
UTPB. So, kind of give us some background, some interesting insights into the school that maybe we're not going to learn just from going through the website.
Yeah, I think one thing you probably want to see is our our really nice $30 million athletic facility here. It's just 2 years old. It was built, I think, right after COVID, um, or summer after COVID. It, honestly, one of the nice facilities I've seen, D2s and some mid-major D1s. And you can't see it. You can only see the outside if you kind of Google it. But inside the facility is top notch. The weight rooms, world class. Training rooms, top notch. With just 5 different kind of pools. Like we got hot tubs, cold baths. We got a kind of a physical therapy pool with treadmills. I mean, just a lot, everything there to kind of have the athlete from prehab to rehab, um, just from yeah, and even just the injury prevention. And we have doctors that come here once a week. We have an X-ray machine. It's just things like that. You don't see them very much D2 programs and the resources. Our locker rooms right here, walking distance to our game field, our game field's turf. Um, we just added this tailgate kind of experience for our community, our fans that come out. Um, it really picked up really well towards the end of the year, and then just the resources here that we have in West Texas. It's untapped, and I think it's very special. Obviously our campus speaks for itself. Being a part of the University of Texas school system, we have great academics. Um, offer a bunch of majors. But yeah, you know, when we have recruits come on campus or when we talk to a recruit, especially international out of state, kind of what I end my calls with is a kind of a video tour, and they're just amazed because it's special. Kind of benefits of having a football team. Kind of use their resources as well. To help us out. But no, it's our media room's awesome. So it's just like I said, it's one of those things you won't see on the website, but it's hopefully they add it soon. So more
Sure.
recruits can see it.
Well, you mentioned academics, so how do your student athletes kind of balance the rigors of both being a college soccer player and the academic side of things, and kind of what support systems does the school offer to help out the players?
Yeah, so majority of our students, are tough majors. We got some engineers, some pre-med students, some nursing students, business students. To juggle all that is tough on them. That alone. Some of them have jobs as well that they have kind of work around. Soccer, school. Um, but no, I think our resources here that we offer on the athletic department, it's really good. We have a athletic academic advisor that she goes beyond her job description to help every athlete, and then also just the academic advisors on that for the individual athlete. It just they're so helpful. I always hear good things about their academic advisors when it comes time to register classes because the advisors care and they're like they want them to succeed. So they know the kind of the busyness of when they're in season and out of season. So in season, they're trying to not just give them classes that they need, but also not tough classes where they fall way too behind. Obviously the harder classes more in the spring, but they just keep them on track so they don't have to take an extra semester or have to do summer school. They can take that time off to either focus on themselves or focus on more on soccer or whatever they want to do, but have that freedom to do it in the summers instead of just taking summer school just to catch up. But yeah, I think our girls here do a really really well job of balancing that. We also do study hall hours here. All the girls go in and do it. During the week. And yeah, most of our girls are tutors as well. So like, we don't have a problem here academically wise. But it just, uh, I think it speaks highly for our athletes here. Just they do really well academically, regardless of everything they have going on.
Okay, great. Well, can you kind of walk me through what a typical week during the season would look like for a player in terms of, meals and classes and practice and kind of what your game cadence is and just an overall viewpoint of what a new student athlete would be walking into?
Yeah. So here we do practices in the kind of mid afternoons. So athlete would wake up if she has AM class, 8 a.m. class, go, have breakfast before in the dining hall. If they live on campus, if they live off campus, obviously, they're on their own. They do whatever, cook themselves by themselves, but go to class. Then we have kind of training room hours where they can come and see. They kind of have the training room to themselves, so they're not waiting around for other athletes and then obviously then they go back to class and then once again we practice from about 4 to 6. So they come back in the training room if they weren't able to go earlier, get anything get done, whatever they need to get done. Have practice. After practice, uh, we have like kind of a fuel room in our locker room, so we have snacks in there so they can eat before and after. Um, and obviously they go dining room for dinner, dining hall for dinner, and then some of them go straight into some study hall hours or whether it's work. A lot of them, like I said, I mentioned earlier, a lot of them have jobs. They work on campus a lot, so they kind of squeeze that. If they couldn't squeeze it in before practice, they squeeze it after in practice, and then that's just kind of on a typical day where we don't have any games. Like a day before the game, obviously we will uh, have film before practice, go out, have that walkthrough, and kind of similar things. And then depending on the week, we would have multiple film sessions with players if we had multiple games that week, obviously. But that's just kind of the breakdown. Is just wake up, class, either you work or you get some treatment in, go back to class, either film session or treatment session, practice, after practice, um, then dinner on their own, and then more academic. So we don't we don't have we don't try to keep them too much away from academics and work. But so that's why we have that 2 hour period. So we try to fit in. If we need to have meetings, we'll do it beforehand, or we kind of schedule it with the team prior, and kind of find a time that works for everybody if we can't get it in that practice time. So
Okay. Well, let's shift gears, talk a little bit more about the team and the soccer side of things. As you're recruiting right now, do you have a target roster size in mind each year that you find is ideal?
yeah, I think between 30 or 32 is a good roster size. This league is tough. We play a lot of games. So we do emphasize on being fit as a team, but fitness can only take you so far. More games you play, the physical. This division is physical, so it wear down the body. Um, so that's where our roster size comes in play. We had, I think, 26 this past season. Uh, I don't think that was enough. We just we didn't have, like I said, we didn't have the roster size we wanted, so it kind of hurt us in some games when the teams were just subbing. Second half, just a lot sub 10 to 12 players while we were subbing 3 to 4, 3 to 5. So it is tough. So that's why I kind of roster size 30 to 32. I think it's ideal. I think it's good enough to help us be more competitive in those tougher games later during the stretch of the season. Um, and just it gives our girls or starters to break, and then just give opportunities for underclassmen, other upperclassmen who don't see much playing time get playing time, because now we have that roster size, we have the quality of the roster of the bench, and so then come in and keep the level the same. So that's what I'm looking at as I'm going in this recruiting class.
Okay. Well, can you talk to me about kind of your style of coaching and team style of play, what you guys are looking to implement there when you're in season during
Yeah,
games?
yeah. So my coaching style is I'm very possession style based. I love to keep the ball. Other programs where I've been a part of the coaching staff kind of similar ways, so I kind of adapted that because it works as long as you get, like I said, you get the right type of players, um, the commitment from them, and to buy into that kind of play, that type of playing style. Also, they have to be used to it. You can have really successful seasons. But yeah, so possession style base, just kind of looking to be athletic in the midfield, and kind of have pacey forwards up top. Um, but yeah, I look at athletic being technical, like I said, in the midfield, and kind of building out the back too. So our goalkeeper has to be really technical, good with their feet, comfortable in pressure situations, to play the ball without just playing it in a hurry, just being comfortable on the ball and being able to break lines. From the goalkeepers from the center backs to our midfield, and we have those playmakers, determine what kind of attack we're going to do.
Okay. Well, you mentioned it a little bit, but now we're in the off season. So can you just give me a very broad strokes overview of what your players are going to be doing between now that the season's over, and August when they get ready for the next season? What does that off season program look like?
Yeah. So right now, we're being off season right now. We can't do much, so they're on their own. So a lot of the girls are doing their own things in the weight room, kind of working on whatever they needed to work on from the summer. And but once we come back for the spring semester, kind of work on our strength and conditioning more. Kind of we'll hit weights, but not as to get bigger, just getting leaner, stronger, quicker. We'll kind of talk with the strength coach about that, just getting them faster, getting them quicker. So we'll do a lot of we'll mix a lot of some weights, some body weights exercises, but do a lot of acceleration drills. Also, we'll stay fit, so we'll do some endurance exercises as well. But and then once we get more time on the ball, obviously that's when we'll hit the field, spend and just kind of emphasize on the possession style, and doing a lot of possession drills, a lot of possession, like small sided possession games, and then lead to 11v11 games, and then have those spring games. We're looking to have 5 spring games in the month of March and April, and then from April to the end of the school year, kind of same thing. Won't be able to do much with them. So once again, we'll give them a plan to follow for the summer, and they follow that plan, and obviously work on what they need to work on individually, and then we'll have a couple looking to play summer ball. So looking for WPSL teams, or if they're freshmen coming in, still playing with their club teams, and it's over the summer, just trying to stay fit, touching the ball. And then once they come back in August and have preseason in 2 days, and kind of same thing, establish that relationship, the team chemistry that we built in the spring for the new players coming in the fall, and yeah, just kind of having them to adapt to what we've already built in the spring, and doing everything in preseason and back at it.
All right. Well, Coach, we've talked about a lot of different things, covered a lot of ground, and I always like to end these the same way, and that's what didn't we talk about? Is there anything else you want to let us know about the recruiting process, about the school, about the team, or anything else? I give you the last word.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of people don't know about University of Texas Permian Basin, but we compete in Lone Star Conference on D2. We compete with DBU, Angelo State, really good schools. But I think this year we kind of turned the program around, and we're starting to compete. We're starting to get those girls to buy in. Same thing, we're getting those recruits to look like starting to show interest. But like I said, for any kind of, I guess, anyone listening, if you're a recruit, definitely look us up, look into us, academically and on the soccer side. But yeah, I think we're trending forward, and I think we have some exciting things coming up in the spring, and then obviously we're looking to have a better season in the fall. So for any recruits who are interested, please, like I said, look into us, reach out, and like I said, I think sorry, we're building something special here. So I'm looking to continue that.
Awesome. Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck in that building process. and we'll keep an eye on you, see how you guys are doing next season. And if you're in if you head out to Philly for the coaches convention, swing by and say hello. All right.
All right. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
The 2023 United Soccer Coaches Convention is coming up fast, and you don't want to miss it. The largest gathering of soccer coaches, administrators, and fans in the world is coming to Philadelphia from January 11th to the 15th. Only at this convention can you attend sessions crafted with your coaching level and desired topics in mind. Presented by world-class educators, our collection of over 200 lecture sessions and field demonstrations will offer every coach something to bring back to their own training sessions. Visit www.unitedsoccercoachesconvention.org to register. Join us as we celebrate our passion for the beautiful game, and we'll see you there.